Solana will be worth over $1,000 in the next bull cycle. Such words make many people think about buying Sol now. But does Solana really have a chance to surge 10 to 20 times? Why is it the most manipulated asset on the market? And how can you not lose everything by investing in Solana? Let's find out now. Solana is still the largest non-Ethereum blockchain. Even the close relationship with FTX and Alameda, after everything that happened to their capital, did not break Solana. On the contrary, it strengthened the project. You can be a hater of this blockchain, but you can't deny that it is a fast and technological network with a great future. Now let's explain why. What is the one argument that Solana's attackers have? Their connection to Alameda and the fact that $685 million in Solana tokens are still owned by FXT. But just a few days ago, FXT Estate staked 5.5 million SOL tokens worth $122 million. If FTX was planning to sell the tokens, they wouldn't have bothered with the staking. Friends, all this manipulation around Solana is one big scam. Look at the chronology of events. Back in December 2022, there were scary headlines that Alameda was planning to unlock Solana and sell it for $800 million. Fueling the fire were large NFT collections announcing a migration from the Solana network to the Ethereum and Polygon networks. There were also reports that there are about 75 developers left on the Solana blockchain. And in general, the blockchain is dead. It's time to sell everything. Obviously, such headlines and negative background provoked SOL to drop by $8. All this was done to make investors feel fear to scare holders. Many bought Solana at $100 to $200. Even Snoop Doge was agitating people to buy SOL at $250. It is very profitable for the manipulator to get weak holders to sell him $10 tokens bought a year ago for $200. This was the first wave of major price manipulation. Then SOL surged 200% in a few months. The big players didn't play along. They want to buy even cheaper and throw inexperienced investors overboard. And just so Solana hits its local high, Gary Gensler came on the scene and sued Binance and Coinbase, accusing Solana of selling unregistered securities. This led to a 40% drop in SOL and a general panic among crypto speculators. But just over a month later, Solana soars again. Suddenly, Ripple wins the case against the SEC, the market is euphoric, and Solana is among the growth leaders. Investors believe in the project again, even though a month ago they were scared of the SEC and sold tokens at $14. Now they're willing to buy at 2 times the price. SOL has peaked at $30. Investors believe in the project again, so once again, a clever manipulator enters the scene. In the media, there were again headlines that FTX was preparing to sell Solana for $1 billion. However, smart people immediately figured out the manipulator's move and did not allow him to set the course of SOL. A Twitter participant by the nickname Marty Party wrote that the tokens held by FTX are locked until 25 to 26 and cannot be sold earlier, except in an OTC transaction, but that won't affect the market price. The manipulator doesn't want you to make money. His goal is to get you to sell when you should be buying, and vice versa. On October 14th, there was positive news that FTX had bought 5.5 million Solana. And immediately, 2 days later, came the news that Lido Finance, the largest staking operator, was ending its support for liquid Solana staking. After extensive discussion on the DAO forum, followed by a community vote, the sunset of the Lido on Solana protocol has been approved by Lido token holders, and the process will begin shortly. That's what Lido Finance wrote on Twitter. Overall, this is rather neutral news, as Solana is more profitable to stake through validators rather than an intermediary like Lido. Therefore, the blockchain will not be affected by this event. To summarize the above, the manipulator wants you to sell Solana cheaply and then buy it during the next hype. Therefore, he will spread rumors in the media by all means to make you afraid. I will give you some simple advice. If you want to make money, play against the manipulator and subscribe to CoinPost to always evaluate the events on the market soberly. And now we come to the most interesting part of the video. How much Solana do you need to become a millionaire? Solana used to be notorious for stopping the blockchain for hours at a time due to high load. The developers took the challenge seriously and improved the Solana network. And to prove their seriousness, the Solana Foundation is offering a reward of $400,000 for anyone who can discover the code that could potentially turn off Solana. So if you want to become a Solana millionaire, you can start by finding vulnerabilities in the blockchain code. And now let's seriously calculate how many SOL coins you need to have to become a millionaire and buy yourself a brand new Lambo right from the showroom. At its peak, Solana's capitalization was almost $80 billion. Now it is about $10 billion. From this, we can conclude that there is a potential for growth of at least 8 times. In this case, you need to have 5,200 SOL tokens to become a millionaire. At current prices, that's $125,000. This is a huge amount of money that not everyone has. But imagine that Solana will reach the capitalization of Ether. This is quite realistic given the scale of the project, the team behind it, and the community, and the potential audience of the blockchain. It will be much easier, faster, and cheaper for a beginner to figure out how to work with Solana than with Ethereum. And so, Ethereum's capitalization at its peak was $550 billion. There are a total of 416 million SOLs in the market. Divide 550 billion by 416 million and we get a figure of $1,322. This will be the price of Solana at a capitalization of 550 billion. Now, by simple math, we conclude that we need to have 756 SOL tokens to become a millionaire. At current prices, that's about $18,000. The amount is also not small, but if you break it down over several years and gradually accumulate SOL, it is quite realistic. Again, this is not financial advice, but simple math. I'm not encouraging anyone to invest in Solana. It's up to you to make your own buying and selling decisions. Let's go over the Solana chart and the immediate buy and sell targets. Let's start our analysis with a daily chart of SOL to USDT. Here we can clearly see an uptrend forming supported by the trend line. Buyers are quite confident and the price is rising despite all the FUD rumors and general bearishness. The next serious resistance level is around $25 to $27. For almost a year now, the price has been unable to break through this zone and is constantly correcting. The only time the price reached $30, it failed to gain a foothold and dropped. The main task for the bulls is to break through the psychological resistance and get a foothold above $30. Then the road to $50 to $60 level will be open. And it can happen as quickly as it did at the beginning of the year when the price went from $8 to $20 in just a few weeks. The next major resistance is at the $90 level. I think in the first half of 2024, there is a good chance of approaching this level. The closer we get to the halving of Bitcoin, the more interest there will be in cryptocurrencies. The RSI indicator shows that the price is approaching the overbought zone. I expect a drop to $18 to $20 in the near future, and from there I expect a new wave of growth. If we look at the weekly RSI, there is still a lot of growth potential. Right now, the weekly RSI is at 53. The last time there was an upward growth in the same indicator value, Solana was worth $3, and then it went up 80 times. I don't rule out a repeat of that scenario. What interests me the most right now is the chart of SOL against Ethereum. Here we also see a clear uptrend and an attempt by SOL to break the upper resistance zone. Notice, the green candlesticks are much larger than the red candlesticks. This indicates the local strength of the buyers. Therefore, I expect SOL to rise against the Ether in the near future. Subscribe to the channel to avoid falling into the hands of a manipulator. Only I will show you how to make money in this market. Thanks for watching. Your Coin Post.